A lot of us liked Karthik Subbaraj's Jigarthanda DoubleX for different reasons. It went where few films dared to go. DoubleX took us several decades back in time to depict the Tamil cinema of the 1970s with its political influences laid bare. But it doesn't just stop there. Here comes my favorite part. Even if mentioned only in passing, DoubleX is arguably one of the first films to question a deep-rooted issue in the industry. Color இருந்தா என்ன மாதிரி ஹீரோ ஆகியிருக்கலாம். So sad, கருப்பா இருக்காரே. A prominent hero in Jigarthanda DoubleX tells gangster alias Caesar, played by Raghava Lawrence. This dialogue is what triggers Caesar to run in pursuit of becoming the first brown-skinned hero in Tamil cinema.
Tamil cinemaவின் முதல் கருப்பு ஹீரோ.
Cut back to real life, the film setting the 1970s is also when Tamil cinema's real brown-skinned superstar Rajinikanth made his debut. It was at a time when films were dominated by light-skinned actors like Sivakumar and Kamal Hassan. Sajun KM, who has helmed films such as Lakshmi and Aira, says, "When I used to face issues because of my color, my father would tell me even a superstar is brown-skinned, so I shouldn't be upset." Isn't it something most of us have been told, like the lines, Rajinikanth's stardom arguably also opened the doors for many such actors that came after him, like Vijayakanth, Murli, Dhanush, Vishal, Vijay Sethupathi, Manikandan, and others. But can the same be said for actresses? In fact, we have had many brown-skinned women leading films in the 70s and 80s than in the decades that followed. While a lot has indeed changed in the past few years, a recent incident at the press meet of DoubleX raised a few questions. For those unaware of the incident, here is what happened. A journalist told Subbaraj that even if the leading actress Nimisha Sajayan doesn't look quote-unquote very beautiful, she acted really well. Subbaraj rightly called out the reporter, saying it was a wrong perception. "How can you say she's not beautiful?" he said. But this isn't an isolated incident where such unpleasant comments are passed about actresses. Only a couple of weeks back, Mansur Ali Khan made distasteful remarks about Trisha. Likewise, a couple of months back, when actors Ashok Selvan and Kirti Pandian tied the knot, the latter was trolled for her complexion on social media. Kirti has always been vocal about the rejection she has faced, be it within the industry, during press meets, or on social media. Actresses have faced many trolls or comments because of body shaming and colorism. Even as the word karuppu slowly came to be celebrated as a symbol of virility among male stars, like in songs. Things haven't changed much for women. While it wasn't easy for male actors either, the journey has been harder for women, Sarjun says. Director Halita Shamim points out that the undercurrents of colorism can still be found in the industry, even if it's been eradicated for one gender. For instance, around 15 years back, she heard a fair-skinned hero tell another person, "Ellarum Dhanush mari vandarakudadu. அவன் நிஜமாவே ஹீரோ மெட்டீரியலா இருக்கணும்." The mindset was that there could be one Dhanush who said, "I can act and enter the industry."
இந்த ஏரியால வந்தா சார் பெரிய கை, நம்மளா அவனை தொட கூட முடியாது சார்.
But not all heroes should be like that. Things slowly changed only after actors like Vidat, Vijay Sethupathi, Manikandan and others came into the picture. Today, while women are still expected to be fair-skinned, the men in the industry enjoy the luxury of being able to own their Dravidian color. Culture and film journalist Kavita Muralidharan says the complexion of brown-skinned actors is seen as a sign of macho masculinity today. ஆண்மைக்கான நிறமாகவும் கருப்பு பார்க்கப்படுது. So why then women aren't celebrated for their Dravidian color? From audience expectations to the kind of female roles that are written, a lot of factors contribute to why women have not been able to break the barriers of colorism. The most important of which is the image of a conventionally beautiful heroine. Film critic Ramya Krishnan points out the demographic of people going to watch films is young and male. For them, it is satisfying to see men who look like them and represent them on screen. Whereas, they have to be aspirational when it comes to women. They want these representational men to get women who they feel are out of reach in real life. Halita too agrees. Viewers want heroines to be extraordinary. They want them to be like angels who jump from heaven. She further adds, it was different in the 70s and 80s because Balu Mahendra sir celebrated women of different complexions. He not only cast brown-skinned heroines but also never wanted actresses to wear any makeup. There were noted actresses who were part of his films, including Shobha, Sarita, Purnima Bhagyaraj, Archana, Rohini, Aishwarya Rajesh and others. It was also a time when several actresses like Sujata, Srividya, Bhanupriya and Radhika got the chance to portray their acting chops. In fact, in an interview with Silver Screen, Rohini recalled that Balu Mahendra preferred dark skin because the camera always accentuated it and showed it in different shades. He used to say that dark-skinned women look more attractive, she reminisced. But today, actresses like Priyamani haven't enjoyed a long run in Tamil, Haritha points out. And among such actresses, Aishwarya Rajesh is wonderful and has accomplished so much. It's only now that actresses like Rashmika Mandanna are shining. A few years back, we had only fair-skinned actresses whose complexions were often described as milky white. Sajayan attributes the obsession with fair skin to westernization, but he says we have crossed that phase now. Aishwarya Rajesh doesn't believe that audiences look forward to watching actors of a particular skin tone. Instead, she believes their views are changed by the kind of actors they constantly see on screen. She says when Sonia Agarwal wore the white salwar in 7G Rainbow Colony, everyone is obsessed with the dress. The same happened when Trisha's yellow kurti in 96 went viral. So it's what we show in the film that people get influenced by. When you look back, people really liked actresses like Vanishri and Roja. There were many brown skin actresses and they used to do glamour as well. But at some point, maybe 10 years back, films increasingly featured fair skinned women, often from the north. So what we feed is what we get back. Let's look at how casting choices might contribute to colorism. While the intentions may be right in a few instances, films often fall prey to external pressures. In an interview with the News Minute, Paranjit revealed that he wanted to cast a brown-skinned woman for Madras, but was pressured by the producer to do otherwise. Halita also faced a similar situation during Sillukarpetti. A producer wasn't very pleased with casting Nivedita Satish. She says, I want to cast brown-skinned people because they look like the people we see around us. In fact, for female actors, being dusky is an added advantage. Your face and skin will respond superbly to the light. But on the business side, such things always happen, she remarks. People often have certain criteria for how a heroine should look. This used to be very bad 15 years ago. If Paranjit couldn't convince a producer in his second film, you could imagine how it is for others. But on the brighter side, he cast brown-skinned women in his later movies. Even Suparaj roped in Lakshmi Menon for Jigarthanda and Nimisha Sajayan for DoubleX. Aishwarya says, at one point, everyone is obsessed with casting and seeing a North Indian heroine on the big screen. Only a few directors like Manikandan, Seenu Ramasamy and Vetrimaaran wanted to rope in actors who could realistically represent characters. She further adds that there is a mix of both fair and brown-skinned women living in a state like Tamil Nadu. There are many girls who are fair-skinned even in the south. But there was pressure among dusky-skinned women to catch up with their fairer counterparts to sustain themselves in the industry. But we have overcome that phase and broken barriers, she asserts. Hasn't Roja's Kar Gar Kar Pai hit million views after Leo? People still love her. There have also been instances of brown facing, which is thought to chip away at the cause. But Arjun, who directed Aira, tells us that directors choose to do a few things to bring out the best on screen. We could argue that one should rope in brown skin actors to play brown skin characters on screen. That's absolutely right, Arjun says. In fact, I tested people for the character Bhavani, played by Nayanthara, with a brown face in the film. But cinema is a form of art. For instance, Kamal Hassan plays a man of small stature in Apurva Sagodharargal. We could argue why he didn't cast someone more appropriate for the role. When it comes to talent, I don't think it's wrong for people to do makeovers and perform, as long as they are convincing on screen. Colorism has always reared its ugliest head in Tamil comedy tracks. Remember the infamous Angavai Sangavai comedy in Sivaji the Boss, or the jokes surrounding the unmarried sister in Nanban? Even Kauntamani's jokes, who himself is brown-skinned, have propagated the racist stereotypes, especially against women in films. Sample this in the 1992 film Magudam. Senthil tricks Kauntamani into marrying his dark-skinned sister. When Kauntamani finds this out, he says, Halita says there have been a lot of songs where the woman is singing pains of the man's dark skin. Some of these include but I can't seem to remember any song where it's the opposite, she says. In fact, women are found to be celebrated for their fairness in a few songs. From Angadi Teru, which equate color to fairness, a colloquial term in Tamil. One of the few exceptions that come to the mind is the song Adi Karuppu Nirathazhagi from Komban, where a brown-skinned woman is praised. In general, when people describe brown-skinned individuals, they say karuppa irundhalum kalaiya irukka, dark but beautiful, etc. Soumya points out how even Rajinikanth had to face this. A lot has been made about his color, she says. In Tillana Tillana, a song from Muthu for instance, there are lines that go like, when there are so many white men, why did you accept me? So it's not like he was just accepted for his skin tone and we are not going to comment about it. It was made like a thing. Though he is dark, he is a hero. That though itself is problematic. So is colorism on its way out. We were all once stuck to the image of white skin is beautiful and we never questioned anything, Sarjun reminds. But that's not the case today. The backlash to a brand like Fair and Lovely is proof. Halita is hopeful too. If we were speaking a few years back, I would have been so frustrated, she says, because we only had fair-skinned actresses back then. Now a lot has changed and this change gives us hope that things will get even better.